let us go through this passage, which was homework. This passage is excerpted from Stephen J. Lycett, or you can say Joe Lycett, Dynamics of Cultural Transmission in Native Americans of the High Great Plains. I have sent you a video about what the Great Plains of the United States. What you need to know for your knowledge that the Great Plains is a broad expanse of land located in the United States and Canada. And then we're going to start with this. As the case studies go, understanding the distribution of cultural elements in Native American communities during the historical period of the Great Plains would seem a most challenging one. So the distribution of cultural elements in that part of the United States Great Plains, it wasn't easy at all. Famously, there is a mixture of powerful internal and external factors creating what? Creating a seemingly distinctive set of shared elements from a linguistically diverse set of people. وبعد كده بدأ يتكلم يا شباب. احنا we don't have to go through this one because it was homework. لكن الحدوتة بقى ايه حضراتكم؟ what we should have done is ان احنا we should have read the first paragraph and first and last sentence of each body paragraph. Conclusion, if you could have read it all, that would be great, or at least the first two sentences or the last two sentences. And let us go directly to the what? To the questions. And here in the questions, I need to stop for a minute and I need people to understand what is the difference between statistics and quantitative analysis. And would you please write this down? So when you have statistics, what does it mean? When you have quantitative analysis, what does it mean? I know that you understand personal recollections, like personal thoughts. So recollections, like thoughts, like memories. Of course, nobody would go to A. Or expert testimony, or testimony, okay? Like expert witness, okay? It wasn't there. We need to know the difference between statistics, statistics versus quantitative. Write down please, quantitative what? Analysis. Okay, and let us write this down. A, statistics is the science of collecting data. Not only collecting data, but processing the data, processing them into valuable information. And what else? Then analyzing this or these data, analyzing them. That's the statistics. So we need to collect data, we need to process them into valuable information, then analyze them. And then we have got quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis يا شباب هي refers to understanding. Remember this, understanding what, teacher? The condition using mathematical, and I think it was clear in the passage, mathematical approach. When we were doing the graph or the table, and I think it was clear. That's the difference between statistics and what? And quantitative analysis. I will never say that there were statistics, okay, but there was sort of what? Quantitative analysis. And without wasting the time, and I need to go to, of course, here the question, the author makes the most extensive use. Used it a lot. Which kind of evidence? وكلنا لازم نروح لإيه يا شباب؟ C, quantitative analysis. And I think for those people who are not aware, it was here somewhere. And I think it was in the what? Yes, It was here. This is known across the world as the Great Plains culture. What is the Great Plains culture? It's a place where there are a mix of what? Of ethnic groups, okay? In our study, quantitative analysis show how different processes operated on two sets of cultural traits among the 9 plains what groups. So it was very clear, and even the analysis, okay, so it wasn't statistics by any means, but it was what? Quantitative what? Quantitative analysis. Then, let us go to question number 2, as used in line 12. Mediated most nearly means. And by the way, mediate in the literal meaning of the word, you might go for intervene. Mediation. Yeah, Hussein. Mediation has to do with what? With interference. It could be intervening. It could be, but here it was a completely different meaning. Let us read line number 12. Okay, which is moccasin decoration. Kind of decoration. If you don't know the word moccasin, it's kind of what decoration, like what it is, what a soft leather heelless shoe. عارفين الصندل اللي هو دايما عند الفراعنه اللي هو كان ملوش حاجه كده يعني. It was kind of decoration. Exhibit, show a pattern consistent with geographically mediated between group interaction. So what do you think here? Moccasin decorations exhibit a pattern consistent with يتماشى مع geographically mediated between, and this is hyphenated adjective, mediated between group interaction. يعني the interaction was what? Was geographically mediated between interaction, and that's exhibited or shown by what? Illustrated by what? The moccasin decoration. So here, I need your answers, please. Is it resolve? And of course, resolve, you know the meaning, means what? Solve. Means find solution to. Find solution to. Of course, has nothing to do with this. Forget about it. Influenced, that's the right one. Intervened, and when is, sorry, it's not the one. When I say intervene, means what? When you interfere. It doesn't mean it has to be all negative intervene, but sometimes when ya Hussein, you take part in, ya Omar ya Gayyar, thank you. When ya Ziyad, relate, thank you very much. When you take part in something in order to prevent whatever, so that's كمان intervene. Reconcile means what? When you say reconcile, yes, يصالح, يتصالح مع, right? Restore friendly relationships with somebody, that's fine. But كمان in reading, it means what? Remember this. Be consistent with one another. That's what? That's reconcile. Like correlate, if you want to say. Somebody said correlate. That's fine. But here, it has to do with the influence more. Mister, I still can't figure it out. It's a bit difficult. I understand, Ya Omar, Ya Ayman, I understand, but this is the only meaning or the only vocabulary that stands out. Moccasin decoration, exhibit, it's here ya shabab, exhibit a pattern consistent with geographically mediated between group interactions. So mediated here means what? Sort of influenced more, okay? It's not resolved, at least. It's not reconciled. Maybe somebody went for C, very close, but tempting, but it is influenced. Let us go, no question till here. Let us go to question number 3. Question number 3. The word mosaic, line 23, primary serves to. What is the purpose of the use of the word mosaic? mosaic يا شباب اللي هي عاملة ايه يا شباب؟ زي patterns كده محطوطين جنب بعض. Small pieces of glass or stone or tiles. Okay, that's the mosaic. Why did the author use the word mosaic in line number 23? And let us go together to line number 23 and let us read. 23, so I need to start from where يا شباب? I need to start from, yes, 21. I need to start from here. Okay? Although culture may sometimes be a melting pot, and when there is a melting pot when it comes to culture, it means what? Excellent. يبقى في يا شباب انصهار لل different people و different style و different theories كلهم they are mixed together. That's the melting pot. لكن لما اشوف الميلتنج بوت يا ميار يا هاجر، يعني ايه melting pot يا بنتي؟ اللي هو البوت which metals or other materials are what are melted and mixed، اللي هو ايه وعاء كبير قوي نحط فيه الميتالز فيحصل فيه انصهار. ده literal meaning. But the meaning here that has to do with the melting pot when it comes to culture يبقى انصهار الحضارات، انصهار الثقافات. You understand my point؟ تاني. Although culture may sometimes be a melting pot, the analysis show that even in highly fluid situations, cultural mosaics may be indirectly shaped by what? Historical factors that are not always obvious. Okay? Remember I said what يا شباب here? I said cultures may sometimes be a melting pot, which is what? Which is a metaphor. Thank you very much. A metaphor. A comparison between what? Between two things without using as or like. So here is a metaphor. And then, not only this is the metaphor, but also mosaic. What does it mean when I say mosaic يا شباب؟ اللي هي بنت الستونز، اللي هي الجلاس، اللي هي patterned together, whatever arranged together. خلاص كده in order to create a shape. طب ازاي يا مستر الموزايك ده يبقى cultural mosaic? Again, it is what? It is a metaphor. if you are telling me here and I can tell you يا عبد الله يا رضا ان هنا يا حبيبه في extended metaphor، ده metaphor واخده حقها قوي. You understand the point؟ طيب تعالوا لي هنا in that question يا شباب اللي هو the purpose of using what mosaic is what. وتعالوا نشوف A. Provide an image to contrast with the commonly used metaphor. This is the one. Creatively illustrate the ways in which Great Plains tribes have shared a common culture. Illustrate a way which have shared a common culture. I don't think that was there. Characterize an artistic tradition shared by, as if اللي هي mosaic is an artistic tradition. Of course, he didn't mean this. So forget about this as well. Sarcastically, and of course there was no sarcasm here, okay? Sarcastically comment on the Great Plains tribes' history of conflict. Of course, it wasn't there. Somebody was telling me now, Mister, where is the contrast? And I will provide an image to contrast with commonly used metaphor. What is the commonly used metaphor here يا شباب? Look at this one. أنا بقول although. Would you help me circle the word although? Circle it please, and I'm going to tell you why. Although culture may sometimes be a melting pot, the analysis show that even in highly fluid situation, cultural mosaics may be indirectly shaped. I think this is the contrast. You got my point? Take it in what? In terms of what? Of language. So the contrast here is expressed by the word what? Although. Thank you. Let us go to what يا شباب? To question number 4. Okay? An SAT student in this advanced group is not aware of these verbs. If you are not aware, it's time يا عمر يا أيمن يا عمر يا حازم to know them. Refute, you know, like prove to be what? Prove to be wrong. انت عايز تثبت انها it is wrong. It's not right. It's not correct. So out of what refutations? You've studied that maybe in essay writing. Refute the findings of another study, but let us read the question first. The main purpose of the author discussion of cultural patterning, and patterning here like cultural, let us say shaping, that's patterning. Shaping the culture. In paragraph 2 is to what? And here I have got the main purpose, so this is mainly what? Big picture question. You remember? Hitting the ends. And then we have got contest. And I need people to write contest. Means oppose. Maybe you have studied that word in Shakespeare or something. one of the plays. Contest means what? Oppose. And then we have got set forth. Set forth يا هاجر. It could be, by the way يا بنتي, set forward. It means begin. And of course, you know, present. What does it mean? Okay. And let us read, and I'm going to take you to this one. Paragraph number 2, right? Paragraph number 2. So this is paragraph number 1. Paragraph number 2, I'm going to start it from here. Culture is the conglomeration of information, knowledge and ideas and beliefs shared by communities and transmitted by social interaction. Mister, I understand now the meaning of conglomeration. When I say culture is the conglomeration of information, so conglomeration means what? عاملة زي ايه شباب؟ تكتل حاجة مع بعض يعني a mix of. You understand? So conglomeration, you simply can write what يا شباب? A mix of. As what? As a compacted mass. كتلة واحدة. Mix of what? Mix of knowledge, ideas, and beliefs. These ideas, beliefs, and information shared by communities and transmitted. Transmitted mean what? Passed from one person to another. Transmitted by what? Social interaction. تمام. طيب, what about the last paragraph, the last part in the paragraph here? And I need to start reading from here. Yes, attempting to examine the role of specific factors in creating cultural patterning under such historically contingent, transient, and dynamic conditions, however, presents a challenge. This one, together with this last line in the paragraph. Think about it. Thank you very much. So here, the purpose or the main purpose of the author discussion of cultural patterning in paragraph 2 is to what? Refute the findings of another study. Is he trying to prove that the findings of another study is bad, is not true? Of course, no. Contest an accepted theory. Contest means what? Oppose. We haven't seen that. Set forth the challenges of the study. That was very clear, particularly at the what? At the last sentence. Present a controversial claim. Controversial means what? Debatable. Of course, no. You understand the idea? This question is easy. Who said it's still difficult? And I think it was very clear. Let us now go to question number 5. But let me read. The passage itself was a problem for me. I understand, Ya Omar, but look at this one, Ya Omar. And by the way, here, what I have done here, I haven't read that much. And I haven't read that much. Shabab, I always say that. When the passage turns difficult, always go to the questions. What does the author imply, suggest about similarities in moccasin design among Great Plains tribes in the 19th century? Where we can find this piece of information? By the way, I don't have to read any of the answer choices. But I need to go to the what? To part 2 here. Best evidence for the answer to the previous question. And of course, in order not to waste the time, okay, I have to go for what? I have to go for lines 39 to 42 because I could see this part of what? This part of information. Okay, let us read it together, 39 to 42, and then come back. Okay, عمر أيمن أنا ماشي معاك بالراحة قوي. كام 39 to 42. يعني يا ابني 39 it has to start from here. بس أنا I'm gonna start from here. Here analysis have shown the presence of distinct process, very clear process, operating and ultimately influencing the representation of cultural traits in different tribes. Then, starting from here, patterns of similarity and difference in moccasin design among different tribes. And I say, what? Teacher, I'm very close. Why? It's almost the same thing. Imply about similarities in moccasin design among Great Plains tribes in the 19th century. So, mister, this is the one. These are the lines that I have to what? To give due care. Patterns of similarities and differences or difference in moccasin designs among different tribes show a statistically significant relationship with the model of geographic relationship between the tribes. up to 42. Okay, till here is fair enough. Read it again. Show a statistically significant relationship with the model of geographic relationship between tribes. And let me take you to this. And let us go for A. The moccasin design areas similar as the tribes in Sundances? No. Similar languages played a small but vital role in determining the similarity? No. The similarities in moccasin design can be explained in the context of tribes' relative geographies? Yes, we have read this. The Great Plains tribes did not have common cultural elements until... No. Omar Ayman, is it clear? Let's go to question number 7. And question number 7, evidence-based question. We have got part 1, part 2 as well. Ya Ahmad, Ya Hassan, Ya Abdullah, Ya Ashraf. It can be reasonably inferred that the relationship among the Sundances of the Great Plains tribes is puzzling because... Why it was puzzling? Why it was confusing or confounding, if you still remember the word that was in list number 1 and 2 vocabulary YouTubes, okay? It can reasonably be inferred that the relationship among the Sundances of the Great Plains tribes is puzzling because of what? And I'm going to take you directly to what, ya shabab, in order not to waste the time to this one. This is 67 to 71. Let us read together and come back. 67 to 71. Yeah. Here, however, and I want people to circle the word however. And when you say however, this is one of what? This is one of what, ya Ustaza Mayar, ya Ustaza Manar. Manar is there, right? Ya Nada. This is one of the turn of direction expressions. So what does that mean, ya Manar? If it is however, if it is but, I need to read the previous lines to justify why did I use however here. أنا عايز أبرر لنفسي هو أنا استخدمت ليه however. هي however طلعت زرع شيطاني مرة واحدة. فأنا I need to start reading from what يا شباب maybe here. Ordinarily, this pattern might simply be attributed to the fact that tribes with more mutually comprehensible languages, الtribes اللي عندها mutually comprehensible languages, لغات مشتركة بينهم وبين بعض, were able to what? To more effectively transmit the behavioral variance among themselves. It is easy to what? To interact. Here, however, ومع ذلك هنا, language patterns were found not to correlate with geographical patterns, and moreover, the statistical relationship between Sundance patterning and linguistic affiliation was found to still hold. What? Even when geography was controlled for. And you say what? Teacher, is it all? Yes. Let us go to the answer choices here. A. It would be logical for language and geography to correlate, but they do not. Both of them are there. There is T missing. The tribes with similar moccasin design should have similar dances, but they do not. No way. Language patterns do not normally have such a strong influence on cultural developments. No mention. Geography, it is there, is the only logical explanation. Only, of course, and only, this is one of the words that we should avoid. The only logical explanation for such strong cultural similarities? No. You agree with me? So it is what? It is A. Take A, ya Ustaza Habiba, and find out about it. So here we said A, and here we said, of course, okay, 67 to 71. Hopefully you understand. According to the table, so this question has only to do with what, ya shabab? With the table. Which two tribes have the most similar sun dances? Okay, this is 1, this is 2. Which 2 tribes have the most similar sun dances? Discounting each tribe's comparison to itself. And I want people to underline this. This is very important. What does it mean discounting? يا ندى, each tribe's comparison to itself. يعني excluding each what? Each tribe comparison to itself. يعني Mr. where is this one. As you can see here, we have got, these are names of tribes. Arafo, that's 1. Assiniboine, 2. Gros Ventre, 3. Blackfoot, 4 tribes. They used to live in what? In the Great Plains of what? Of the United States. And here, as you can see here, Arafo, it's here. Assiniboine, here. Gros Ventre, hopefully it's correct. Yes. And then Blackfoot. And I say what? I say the question is discounting each tribe's comparison to itself. يعني, I want people to look at this one. Look at this one, and I'll do it this way. Here, Arafo, 100. Here, Assiniboine, 100. Okay, here, Gros Ventre, this is 100. Here, Blackfoot, this is 100. Okay, you got the point, right? Try to do something here. Try to discount each tribe's comparison to itself. وانا السؤال بيقول لي ايه يا شباب؟ السؤال بيقول لي ايه يا مستر؟ According to the table, which 2 tribes have the most similar sun dances? Arafo, let us go for Arafo here. Okay, Arafo here with the Gros Ventre, that was 50, right? Okay, that's Gros Ventre. And here Gros Ventre, with Arafo, it is what? 51. Aren't they similar? Aren't they similar? They are similar. But you need to what يا شباب تاني? To exclude what? Each tribe's comparison to itself. We have to go for what? For A. طيب. The other one. According to the passage, the similarities between the tribes' sun dances as shown in the chart can best be attributed to what? Attributed to what? It's here. Behavioral variation. Behavioral variations, and I want you to write here to underline this one. Behavioral variation between tribes in terms of their practice of the religious ceremony of the sun dance also indicated statistical relationship with geography, again repeating the role of inter-tribe transmission in creating the phenomenon historically labeled as the Great Plains culture. So here I want people to write what here to underline variation. So it is variations, not similarities. It's variations, not what يا شباب? Similarities. Remember this together with the graph. Okay, and let us see the answer choices here. عندي A, the close geographical location that the tribes shared. Of course no, that was the opposite. احنا قلنا ايه يا شباب؟ كان في variation between tribes in terms of their practice of religious dance according to what? Statistical مش عارف relationship with geography. There was variations. Okay. B, similarities in the languages from which their present day languages derived. Patterns of similarities in design preferences among different tribes. It wasn't there. Selection biases that different tribes have exhibited. It wasn't there. We need to complete يا شباب, by the way. We need to read this. الله أعظم. Similarities, remember, similarities in the language from which their present day languages derived. Let us go to complete reading here. Yes, however, patterns of inter-tribe variations in sun dance elements also exhibited a statistically significant relationship with linguistic affinities. Write down على affinities, liking, natural likings between different tribes. Yes. يبقى from here till here يا شباب. Read it silently please. قلنا however, particularly this part, patterns of inter-tribal or tribe variation in sun dance elements also exhibited what? A statistically significant relationship with linguistic affinities between what? Different tribes. يبقى here يا شباب look at this one here. I think this answer choice is quite reflective. Do you agree or you don't agree? Similarities in the languages, اللي هي linguistic relationships. I'll take it this way. Linguistic relationships. Okay? Which their present day languages what derived. Okay? This is the only answer choice that has to do with what يا شباب? With the passage. And also in what way it can be shown in the chart. بصوا لي هنا كده يا شباب وتعالوا نشوفها in what way it can be shown in the in the chart. The similarities of sun dances among 4 Great Plains tribes. Okay, the table demonstrates the degree of similarity with maximum similarity of 100 when a group is compared to itself. So the group is compared to itself. Here is what يا شباب is 100 between any given what pairing what of the 4 tribes. So in that case يا شباب, this is the answer that is there or that is existing in the what? In the passage. Hopefully you understand. The difference between the tribes with the greatest level of similarity, underline this, and the tribes with the least level of similarity. Greatest and what? And least. Greatest and least. As depicted in the chart is what? Approximately. Between almost, that's the greatest. Forget about this. Because this is like comparison to itself. And the least, as you can see here, between 32, between 30. So almost يا شباب, we are talking about what? We are talking about 20%. Hopefully you understand. يبقى in that case يا شباب, we go for what? We go for 20%. You understand? That's what يا شباب, that's the difference between this and this. But what we have done here with the passage, we haven't read that much. We just went to the questions and we tried to do our best. But at least when you do a passage like that, introduction and first last sentence of each body paragraph, that would be what? A good strategy, together with the conclusion, a good strategy to what to do.